Have you heard about the Verde Canyon Railroad and you've been wondering what it's all about? Well, you're in the right place to get all of your questions answered. Hi, I'm Shelly and I'm a realtor in Phoenix, Arizona. And I recently went on the Verde Canyon Railroad and I thought this is something that people not only in Arizona but outside of Arizona should know about. So I thought, let's create a video. Let's talk about my experience over the weekend, where we stayed, where we ate, and how much fun we had on the Verde Canyon Railroad. The Verde Canyon Railroad takes off from the train depot in Clarkdale, Arizona. So where is Clarkdale, Arizona? Well, Clarkdale is 2 hours north of Phoenix on the I-17. It's a cute little town that's up north that has quite a bit of history itself. So if you're ever interested in learning more about Clarkdale, I think you should Google it because there's some pretty funny characters that are part of the Clarkdale history. The Verde Canyon Railroad is a 4-hour, 20-mile journey into the Arizona desert and back. There's a couple of things that you need to know about the Verde Canyon Railroad. And the first is that you need to have tickets. You need to book your trip ahead of time. You can show up at the train depot and try to get on a trip that day, but there's no guarantee that the train is not full. When we were there, there was a busload of people who had come in to go on the train, and the train was sold out. So I would recommend booking your trip ahead of time. They give you actual tickets when you get to the train depot that have that have seat assignments in them, which is perfect so that you're not worrying about saving your spot if you get up to go to the open air viewing area. It's perfect to have just an assigned spot where you know where you're going to be sitting. In the train car, if you are a party of two, they have window seating that's already set up. It's 2 chairs that face each other with a table in between. If you are a larger group, they will ask you when you're booking your train tickets, your train trip, how many are in your party so that they know if you're more than a group of 4, that they are going to want to group you guys somehow together. Because besides the seating for 2, they also have seating for 4, and they can put big groups together in the same train car. And of course, they name all the train cars after different Arizona cities. So ours was the Flagstaff. That was our train car name. Like I said, this is a 4-hour, 20-mile ride, and you have your seating in your air-conditioned or climate-controlled train car that is equipped with a bathroom as well as a bar. There is no food specifically that is served. They don't have a kitchen on the train, but you are given a snack pack or a box of appetizers that are given to you or that are part of your train ticket fee when you go to get on the train. At the train depot, you can order food either when you get there or ahead of time. If you're going to order food at the train depot, I would suggest getting there at least an hour and a half before the train leaves, simply because they're doing some renovations right now in the train depot, and the Copper Spiked Cafe is the process just takes a little bit of time. So you stand in line, you go up, you order, then they give you a number, and then you wait for it to come out. They were very fast, but the line can be long depending on how many people are there to get on the train. So an hour and a half, especially if you want to sit in the depot and eat your food in the depot. You can carry your food onto the train with you. You cannot bring outside food onto the train. You can only bring food that you purchase at the train depot. So no No McDonald's, no Subway, none of that. No home cooked stuff, none of that. They may ask to look in your bag. All passengers are allowed one bag, one carry-on, and it is not your suitcase, or it is not a cooler. You can't bring those items with you. It can be a purse, a backpack, that's about it. But they might want to look inside your bag just to make sure that you're not bringing any outside food in, that you're not carrying any firearms or weapons with you on the train, and that you are not bringing any alcohol onto the train either. At the train depot, there is a bar, you can order beer or other types of refreshments, but you cannot carry that beer or that alcohol onto the train with you, which seems silly because, the train depot is right here, the train's right here, they're all connected, but you can't, because they have different liquor license. Sorry, they have different liquor licenses, so you can't carry that on there. A couple other things to mention or to note is that, yes, you have assigned seating in your climate controlled train car. And these are vintage train cars that have been refurbished. So they're really very cool, very, very authentic, I think, to perhaps the age of the train system and when these train cars were originally created. And it's very plush, it's very luxurious. Well, yeah, I'd say luxurious. It's very comfortable. That's what I should say. Maybe not luxurious. It's very comfortable. Hopefully I did mention that there is a bathroom in your train car. So you have a bathroom, you have a bar, you have seating, you have air conditioning, which are all things you need. You can go outside to an open air viewing train car where you can see 360-degree views of the panoramic, the scenic beauty that is the ride. So like I said, 4-hour trip, 20-mile journey. And again, it's in and out. So you go from Clarkdale, the train depot in Clarkdale, out to Perkinsville, and then you come back into Clarkdale to get off the train. The train does run all year round. And so that's something to think about. They have lots of different events with the train. In the winter, they do kind of a Christmassy winter wonderland kind of feel to it. They have a Fright Night car that's in the parking lot that you can go and get scared right now during as we get up to closer to Halloween. And they do have an ales and rails where you can do beer tastings before you get on the train. You can do that in the train depot. I believe in the springtime, they do a wine tasting event as well, where again, you're going to have the wine tastings in the depot before you get onto the train. Also, they do night train rides as well. And those last, I believe, from May until September. So if you want to go out and see the night sky without any, street lights, buildings, any of that kind of stuff, where you're truly kind of out in the wilderness, that could be a really fun event as well. If you're looking for a really exciting and exceptional part of this trip, or an addition, I guess, to this type of train ride, you can be an engineer for the day, and you can ride up in the front, in the locomotive and the engine area for the day. But of course, that's an increase in your price as opposed to just your regular train tickets. And so just be prepared that if you want to have that special type of excitement, that you're going to have to pay for it. There is also a private caboose that you can rent. You have to have a certain number of passengers with you, and there is an increased fee for it, but you are in a private train car, just you and your group, and have a special porter or server that takes care of you, and it's just a little bit more exclusive, if you wanted to ride in that private caboose. Some other information that I wanted to share is also you cannot bring your drone and run your drone while you are on the train. They do not allow that. But we did bring our GoPro, our new GoPro, and had that, as you can see, some of the video is using the GoPro that we bought and having that with us on the train, as well as our phones to take video and to take pictures as well. Now, I got to tell you really quick, there's going to be a little circle above my head. If you see that little circle there, yep, that is not a UFO. That happened because I was in the train car and I was using my phone or the GoPro, I don't remember, out the window. And that is one of the lights from the train car, inside the train car. So no UFOs. If you were wondering, if you were excited to hear about UFOs, no UFOs. We drove up from Phoenix to Clarkdale on Saturday, went on the train, spent the night, and then came back on Sunday. So it really is, like I said, it's a 2-hour drive from Phoenix up to Clarkdale to the train depot. So this really could be a quick and easy day trip if you didn't want to have the expense of spending the night and just wanted to go up there and then to come back. Like I said, we spent the night. We stayed at the Pine Inn and Suites, and it was perfect. It was just what we needed. They have lots of other hotel options. They have a big Marriott that's there. They also just have some rather, kind of mom and pop or small business owner hotels as well. So you have a lot to choose from. The Pine Inn and Suites was just what we needed. It was clean, it was a good size room, and we didn't need any of the breakfasts we didn't need a restaurant on site, any of that kind of stuff. They do have a pool there. I believe it's a saltwater pool, so that you could, if you wanted to sit by the pool, if you were making a long weekend of it, sit by the pool, swim, whatever you wanted to do. This weekend that we were up there, they have a big motorcycle rally. So I believe it's the Thunder Valley Rally that was happening at the same time. So there was tons of motorcycles around when you drove down. We stayed, Pine Inn and Suites, I don't know if I said this before, is in Cottonwood. So Cottonwood and Clarkdale are very close to each other, about a 5-minute drive. So in Cottonwood, they were having the motorcycle rally, and driving down Main Street, there were a ton of motorcycles lining the road, which was very cool. So we saw a lot of motorcycles on the way up, and we saw a lot of motorcycles in town and then on our way home as well. Like I said, the Pine Inn and Suites does not have a restaurant attached to it. So we went to a restaurant to get something to eat. And I was really pleased with the choice that we made. We went to the Belfry Brewing Company, and just like you said, just like you think, they brew their own beer. So it has a really cool atmosphere and feel to it. The food was fantastic. The food was great. I had the steak salad, and my husband had the black and blue burger, and it was really good. They do have some other vegetarian options if you don't eat meat. And of course, like I said, they brew their own beer, but they do have other drink options other than their own beer. If you wanted to buy maybe the national brand or something like that, and didn't want to do any of their brews. But we did taste some of them, and they were pretty good. So overall, I would highly encourage you to consider going to Clarkdale, going up north if you're coming from Phoenix, or if you're coming from other parts of Arizona, or if you're flying into Arizona for a long week of fun activities, maybe consider trying the Verde Canyon Railroad. It's a great trip. It's a lot of fun, and the views are spectacular. You meet some fun and interesting people, and you get to hear some interesting stories about the Verde Canyon, about the railroad, about the rail system in Arizona as well as you get to hear about some fun little characters, historical characters, I should say, in Arizona. As always, if you're new to this channel, please like, comment, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know when I post another video. Obviously, like I said, I am a realtor. I will talk about real estate on this channel, but I also want to take a time and create videos about fun and interesting things that happen in Arizona. Maybe it's something that you've been considering making a move to Arizona and you think, gosh, all it is just, flat desert, or, oh, they have all these mountains, but there's nothing that's green there. Well, we do have green spaces. We do, as you can see, we have green trees. Granted, they tend to be around water. So the Verde River is rolling through these canyons, and down there in the water, down there in the green space is Verde River. But it really is something fun to check out. And it's a cool little feature, cool little day trip if you live in Arizona already, to come down and try the Verde Canyon Railroad. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.